This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Eagles preseason week 2 is finally in the books between the Eagles, the Patriots, the Eagles winning 14-13. There is a lot to discuss regarding this roster, and it's going to be a long video, and it's going to be nuts because I do not want to miss. I have notes in front of me because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything, and trust me, I probably will miss something along the way. But the good, the bad, the ugly, the horrible, the just what am I watching? That's what we're going to go over. So let's get straight into it all.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yeah, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. I hope everyone's enjoying, the start of their weekend. Things to be excited for. Week 2 of preseason is over. One more week closer to the regular season. But this was a game where, players really had to step up. This is, the second week is the second week, and guys are getting their chances once again to really showcase themselves, not just in front of the Eagles, but in front of other teams as well. Okay, now really the start of everything going into this morning, it looked like Johnny Wilson had a concussion, which he was out, which really sucked because I really wanted Johnny Wilson to play in this game. So not having him there, you would think that some of these other receivers were going to get opportunities, or the ones that are actually trying to compete for the position to have more snaps. That took a turn, which we'll talk about in a second. Tyler Steen had the ankle injury. I know JENKINS was down, got back up, so he was fine. So we'll see what happens with Tyler Steen, Mckee Becton. I don't even know if he played today. Like I said, this is from the naked eye right after the game, so I don't even know if he even played or even started today, but should be interesting. Now, okay, we're going to go over the quarterbacks because, I saw a really good Mckee that played in the second half, shared snaps with Will Grier. Remember, Will Grier looked fantastic. He looked great. This is a guy that's been around Kellen Moore since really being with the Cowboys as the offensive coordinator. So he knows the system. He was the third quarterback for the Cowboys for a few years. I don't know if he was actually the backup quarterback or at least the third-string quarterback for the Chargers. I kind of want to check that out. But knows the system. He is a disciple of this Kellen Moore system. So we know Will Grier will play well, and he did. Tanner Mckee, man, just looking confident, looking calm, he was just very good. I mean, we had some drops from receivers too. Like, last week was worse because I thought, the receivers were making him, tight ends were making him look really bad. But this game, were a few drops, but I think he really capitalized on a lot. And I got to say, he looks, I could say I could trust this guy if Jalen Hurts needs to take, one game off or something like that, right? What I just watched with Kenny Pickett, I'm really trying to understand because we literally switched third, fourth round picks we swapped third, fourth round picks with the Steelers. But not even just that though. I mean, in 21, they took Kenny Pickett out. The Eagles front office took Kenny Pickett out to dinner, had some lobster. I mean, I don't know what they thought of this guy, but even after this game that he had, okay, the reports are out that Nick says, oh yeah, this is our guy. I figured Kenny Pickett was getting snaps in the first half because they need to see more from him. But it seems like the complete opposite. If you don't think, why doesn't Tanner Mckee start a game in the first half with the better talent? I still don't get this whole thing why Kenny Pickett's starting first over these other two quarterbacks. At least let Mckee and Grier share the first half and then put Kenny in the second half. What is the problem with that? Okay, watching Kenny Pickett, as much as I want to throw up watching the Patriots side of the game, which I couldn't watch the Philadelphia side, I want to jam a rusted nail in my neck, bleed all over the place, pass out, and never wake up, okay, for weeks to come after watching what I watched with Kenny Pickett. The one play that really, I got to say this, Kenny Pickett, the guy can't throw over 10 yards. His awareness is sloppy. His pocket movement is sloppy. He's just not calm at all. I feel like he's always, he's just freaking out in the pocket when there's just a little bit of pressure. Okay? Guy has no athleticism. I think we know this, but at least You have Mckee that's not really athletic, but he could throw. At least he could just like he's like I swear to God, Mckee is like a Marine. Like he's so calm in that pocket, like a damn Marine, and makes his shot, and that's all that matters. Kenny Pickett, the one play that really just made me laugh out loud, like what are you doing, was when he was getting pressure from the edge. He had a clean pocket in front of him. He runs up the scramble, middle of the field. He runs into one of our offensive linemen. He gets all like dizzy, and then he just like falls to the ground after one of the Patriots got to him. I mean, it just looked horrible. And I hope these reports are just like false reports on Kenny Pickett, that the Eagles like him that much. Because I'm telling you right now, if he is the backup for Jalen Hurts, it's over. Like, we're losing that game. I don't care if you have A.J. Brown. I don't care if it does not matter to me. It doesn't matter how many weapons are there. So this quarterback room better be set straight with Will Grier, and obviously Mckee is the backup. Mckee deserves it because he just shows better progression, better quality, calmness, toughness, you name it. He's there. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put up the slideshow. Sorry, but I'm just so fired up right now. So better see what we want to see by when they make these cuts, because Mckee deserves it. Will Grier deserves it. Okay, and that's it. So the new rule for quarterbacks in these games this year is you can actually dress 3 quarterbacks for games. You can dress a 3rd quarterback for games every single week, as many times as you want, which is a good thing. But I don't want to be Kenny Pickett. Okay, now, okay, by the way, Tanner Mckee, he was 15 for 19, 140 yards. He had a fantastic day. Okay, I don't even know what Kenny Pickett's thing, I don't even know what his stats are, but I'm not reading them. I don't even want to read them at this point. Now, I want to talk about the receivers, okay? So it was an interesting day. Britton Covey, why is he not, Johnny Wilson's not even, Johnny Wilson not in this game. Paris Campbell obviously sat out because he was limited a few days ago. So, he just got the pads back on. Why is Britton Covey not getting more snaps? Why is he only getting a series? Like, I understand we had joint practices. I get all that. But seriously, if this wide receiver 3 position is so wide open, why in the hell is he not getting more snaps? Like, what are you trying to do here? Paris Campbell's already out. Now you're taking out Britton Covey. And now, you know what I mean? Like, you're out like 3 receivers. You're pretty much making it out to be you're out 3 receivers with Covey barely even having 1 series. I mean, that's all you have. So we had to go to other receivers. I don't know how you expect to find out who your wide receiver 3 is when they're barely even getting snaps in these preseason games in front of us Eagle fans. I don't know what to expect at this point. Joseph Ngata. Wow, what a day. 5 catches, 88 yards, fantastic. I mean, using his body, just some of these catches, just really good. There was actually a clip of Joseph Ngata making a catch on the sideline, on the Eagles sideline, and it's just funny. Like, literally, A.J. Brown, Paris Campbell, Devontae Smith were really like, yeah, like they were, the veterans just going up to him and just congratulating him on catching that ball. It was just a great support system. I absolutely love that. It actually touched my heart a little bit, I got to say. Joseph Ngata, fantastic day. Austin Watkins, haven't heard his name at all, even throughout the camp. He had a few catches that looked pretty good. So I did receiver-wise, it was a small sample. I mean, we got some obviously production from some of the other guys, but with Paris Campbell not playing, Johnny Wilson with the concussion, and honestly, Britton Covey not giving an opportunity. I mean, what did he do in joint practices? Did you hear much of anything from Britton Covey in joint practices? Play the man in this preseason game. Why are they so, you want to find out what your wide receiver 3 is, but yeah, you're pulling this move. I just don't get it. Going to the running backs, oh my God. I mean, it just gets better and better every week. Obviously, Kenneth Gainwell had a few reps, which he's fine. But I got to talk about Davis Price, dude. Davis Price. Now, I'm going to say this. Davis Price is not much of a receiving back, but my God, this man goes up to the line, patient, and then he hits the gas. I mean, he made a guy miss on the right sideline. I mean, his runs are tough. Reminds me of Le'Veon Bell a lot when he goes up to the line, and then as soon as he gets that vertical, boom, he runs right through it, and he is powerful. I love Davis Price a lot. And whether they're keeping 4 on the active roster, 1 on practice squad, I don't know what they're doing. But Davis Price was probably the best. I would say he was pretty damn good. I mean, I wouldn't say the best because Will Shipley obviously showing him what he's doing in the passing game. I mean, some of his runs were really good. Will Shipley just looking. They threw a screen to Will Shipley on the left side. Oh, it looks so good, man. Like we didn't do that last year with DeAndre Swift. No screen passes to running backs. Why just wide receivers? Why tight ends? Why? We never do running back screens. And with Kellen Moore's system now, it looks like that's where we're going in that direction. So I am very, very excited about the running back core. Kendall Milton had some good runs. Man, it's tough. I love all these guys. I'm going to cry when one of them leaves because, man, I want them back. I want them on practice squad. I don't want them to go anywhere. I want to produce more running backs. Why not? So this way, since Saquon's in the building, you have a bunch of other backs that you could just produce for the next few years, which is amazing. So all the running backs were fantastic, did well. Davis Price, I put some respect on that kid's name. Holy crap. Now, offensive line-wise, wasn't the best day. Mckee Mckee was getting pressured on a little bit. It seems like the offensive line really wanted to protect Mckee more than Kenny Pickett. Honestly, Kenny Pickett, man, there was times he had no time to throw, and there were times where he had time. But I mean, I think one of the biggest. I think the offensive lineman. I know Trevor Keegan had a penalty. One of the offensive linemen, Max Sharping. I think he was the left tackle. I mean, that guy was bad. That guy gave up 2 sacks. Horrible. That guy's not going to make it on this team. I don't even think he'll hit even the practice squad. We'll even see if he even makes practice squad at this point. But Max Sharping was just bad. And other than that, I think protection was okay, was solid. Obviously, when he gets towards the end of the game, it starts to break down a lot more, which we definitely notice. But that was really one of my really biggest things. I don't know if Becton even played. Tyler Steen left with the ankle injury, so he's really just technically, he's hurting himself right now. No pun intended, but that's just what's happening. Mekhi Becton is surely going to be the starter here. I mean, no doubt. I mean, there's other offensive linemen I really do like on this team. Like Trevor Keegan, I think is great. Dylan McMahon shows a lot. Brett Toth is pretty good as the backup center at times. Nick Gates is okay, but you have a savvy vet right there. So Kennard is probably one of my favorite, I have to say, rotational guys that is really showing a lot at guard. He's played next to Lane Johnson, so Lane has said some good things about him. So Kennard looks really good. So I like this offensive line. It's hard to break down at times. Quarterbacks did make plays, but it is what it is. This is what you're going to get in a preseason game when a lot of rotations are going on. Now going into the tight end position, look, you're out. Dallas Goedert's not playing. Okay. Grant Calcaterra is still not back. I mean, it's almost embarrassing. Albert O, still not back from injury. CJ Uzomah had one of the worst blocks I ever seen in this game. CJ Uzomah hasn't been a good player since he was with the Bengals, honestly, a few years ago. He was with the Jets last year. I think he had an injury. He's 31 years old. Not that I care about his age. I'm just saying that he's 31. But, I mean, at the same time, tight end is one of the biggest needs for next year, and it's one of the weakest positions this year. I'd probably have to say. And really, E.J. Jenkins, he had an injury. He went down, but he got back up. So I don't think the injury was serious, which is great. I'm hoping hearing that tomorrow because he got back up and he jogged off the field. And I heard that because I was watching the Patriots side. And I'm watching the Patriots side. Like somebody can get hurt and the Patriots are like, oh, let's talk to Christian Gonzalez on the sideline while somebody is literally is getting their leg amputated from a big hit. And they didn't even care. I mean, I want to throw up just watching it. It was so annoying. They didn't even know any Eagles players or the roster. It was the most annoying stuff I ever seen in my life. So we get through that, and E.J. Jenkins was, caught a few balls. I mean, contested. I mean, there was some. Oh man, he looked really promising. E.J. Jenkins, he's like 6'6", 232, 240. I mean, he's in the range between 230, 240. E.J. Jenkins looks really good, really good. I was calling him EJ Biggers for a while, and I was like, wait, that's the wrong EJ. I think EJ Biggers was a totally different player. So I corrected myself on that earlier. So EJ Jenkins was really great. I thought the cornerbacks, Quinion was on the inside. You have Keeley. You had Isaiah Rodgers on opposite sides there. Obviously, Slay wasn't playing. Ringo was a little up and down. I thought a little up and down. There was a play where there was a drop in front of him. He got beat by one of those receivers. I forgot who it was. Good coverage. I think there was one where he got beat. I think he just got a hand on his right shoulder when he did get beat when the ball came down, and it probably should have been a catch, but it ended up being a drop. But when I see a corner touching a receiver right before he catches it, like just by an inch, it could be the lightest touch possible. Sometimes that little moment could cause a deflection and a big play being made. And I thought he did that. I thought Kelee Ringo has showed, and I think he has shown more than Isaiah Rodgers in this camp. I really do. I think Kelee Ringo has had more practices with no pads before they put the pads on, and obviously Isaiah Rodgers was catching up to him with pads on. But I think what I've seen is from games and personnel, I think Ringo has been more shut down than Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers has done well against our own team, but Ringo has really done well against the opponents, whether it's joint practices with the Patriots, whether it's these preseason games. He has been fantastic. Really can't complain about it at all. Looked really good. So acquired some of the depth there. I didn't really see Eli Ricks or some of the other guys too much. Now, beginning of the game, we were getting gashed pretty bad against the run. I mean, pretty damn bad. By the end of it, Avonte Maddox was at safety. He got a pick, ran upfield. So it was really nice to see that. I know that Maddox is probably going to be the backup nickel to maybe being the depth piece at safety. For what it sounds like with Chauncey being out right now, Reed probably being out, Reed, I guess they're just not playing him, giving other guys an opportunity. Maddox has a lot to prove because he's been very injury prone, and we know what he is when he is fully healthy. Maddox hasn't really played safety since he's been drafted, really, because remember when Rodney McLeod went down a long time ago, they just threw him there because of the injury. But realistically now, he's playing two positions, so why not? Hopefully he can play safety really well, and please stay healthy because safety is one of the biggest needs. After losing out on Justin Simmons and really finding out they had very little interest in that department. Jalen Mills rumors of him returning to the Philadelphia Eagles, that he's played safety the last couple years. He could play corner safety, so for depth reasons, they could go after other moves. But Avonte Maddox makes a big play. Now I want to talk about James Bradberry. Oh, man, this is going to be fun. Why is Vic Fangio? Because I honestly have no idea. I honestly have no clue why Vic Fangio is he's transitioning so well. They're just throwing him a bone, or they're just telling other teams oh, he's playing really good. Let's just tell them that he's playing really good so we can get some value from him and really trade him. He looked horrible. He made one good tackle, but holy crap, he whiffed tackles today. And he wasn't the only one, so trust me, I'm not taking sides, okay? Remember that play to the right side? I don't know if it was a running back or a receiver. I think it was a run play or it was a pass. He comes down and flops so bad. He whiffed that tackle so bad, I didn't even know what to do. When Drake May ran in for that touchdown in the end zone, guess what he did? And he was right there. He just gave up on the play. Didn't even try popping the ball out. He didn't hit the end zone. He literally walked towards May. He literally stopped running and just started to, walk steadily. I mean, dude, what is he doing? For what he's getting paid right now, seriously, as the number 4-3 safety, I don't even know what he is right now. Okay? It's looking like he is the number 3. If the whole roster is together, that's where he is. Okay? They need to do something with him. Okay? And on top of everything else, he gets burned by a tight end. That ball by Drake May, or it might have been the other quarterback. It was underthrown to the tight end. The tight end had to stop for a second and put his hands down to the ground. If that pass was perfect, he would have been burnt on that play. I give no credit to Bradberry on that play. That play should have been a big completion. It was underthrown. It was a really bad ball. It was Jacoby Brissett, I think, that threw that, and it was horrible. Okay? So he didn't play well. Not at all. Okay, McCollum had a couple tackles. I thought he played really. How about Andre Sam? That one rep he had. I don't know if it was the end of the third or the fourth quarter. Andre Sam, 15, 16 picks, small schools in 2 years. Took off a lot of college because his mother was sick. Didn't really play much football. And then, finally the Eagles get him. He is rangy. He's got this attitude towards him. He made this aggressive tackle coming down, and he was talking all this garbage. I mean, Andre Sam brings a little bit of fire to that safety group. We thought Chauncey had a mouth on him. We thought, Reed brings some intensity, of what he does as an in the box type guy. But Andre Sam is crazy. Watch Andre Sam, seriously. It was one tackle. I'm not going to hype him up over one tackle, but it was just cool just to see him tackle somebody hard and then just talk all this crap as he's walking away, looking at the guy, staring at the guy as he got up and walked over. Oh, I loved it. Andre Sam was absolutely amazing in this game. Definitely check him out if you guys have it, or look at that rep if you guys have it from the game, because I'm definitely going to be rewatching this game, and that's where we really were at safety today. So nothing crazy. Now, defensive line. Okay, I thought Bryce Huff, obviously, thank God, we actually see some things going on Bryce Huff. Every time we hit a joint practice, he had a sack. This happened. Bryce Huff had a couple good tackles. He did get messed up on a run play. He got blocked out of it. Couldn't go down and be physical enough. But I got to say, there was 2 plays where he made a couple tackles, and great. Thank God. $17 million a year. I got to see that money, do some, productivity here. Let's get some productivity out of this guy. Jalyx Hunt had a couple good tackles on the edge. I gotta say, Jalyx Hunt, I mean, I want to see more of a pass rush today, and I felt like we got a little bit better. I felt like because you don't have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and some of these other guys, we have to relax. No Brandon Graham, no Josh Sweat. We have to relax because you're missing all those guys. So your defensive line takes a major hit your defensive line takes a major hit when it comes to, the starters not being out and the rest of the guys on this roster. So I really liked Jalyx Hunt a lot there, showing a lot of athleticism and just his movements and his toughness. That man doesn't get moved off the line too often. Watch some of his Senior Bowl stuff. Trust me, you see, and even last week how he was using all of his energy to catch up to running backs and just fantastic. I thought both of them did really well. Okay. Nolan Smith, I thought, had a really solid day. Nolan Smith has one problem. His bull rush sucks. Nolan Smith is probably the worst at bull rushing. Nolan Smith needs to be more technical. Okay? Technique is where he's going to thrive. And when he doesn't use it, a straight-up bull rush isn't going to do anything. Nolan Smith, I thought, had a solid day. Now, he had, obviously, the penalty, the helmet-to-helmet. He got pressure. I mean, he ran up on the quarterback and bumped his head into his helmet and got a penalty for it, which was really stupid. You live and you learn. It's not a big deal. And then Nolan Smith had a sack later on, which he got past the left tackle. The running back chipped him, and he still got the sack. Here is what the strength of Nolan Smith is. When Nolan Smith finds that crease, he does a really good job, using his technique. He can skinny that crease. He skinnies it, and he gets pressure boom. I'm saying the ceiling for Nolan Smith is up there. Early in the game, I was like, man, he can't get pressure or anything. He's just bull rushing. He's hugging the guy, doing this the whole entire time. But realistically, guys, if he could find that little crease and skinny through it with his body, with technique and move, that's the only way. Use that bend, use that athleticism. Nolan Smith is gifted with that. He gets sacks quick. Fantastic. So I thought he was very good. Very, 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 very good. I know I'm finally realizing what the issue. Now, I understand Vic Fangio said he's not physical enough on the edge as an edge rusher. And that's the reason why he's not. Like I said, he's got to be more technical and be smarter. And if there's a guy that's bigger than him, he can't just bull rush. It's just a straight up bull rush is not going to do anything. Nolan Smith's got all the talent. I just saw it today. I just saw a glimpse of what he's doing right, what he's doing wrong, and wow, ceiling is up there, way up there. So can't wait to see more from Nolan Smith. Now, Trotter Jr. Okay, now we're gonna go into obviously some of the linebackers. Trotter Jr. missed a few tackles. He whiffed a few tackles today. Okay, I get it, but like I think what I really did like from him is that he's got a nose for the football. He's always involved where the football is. Okay, now he could have had a 3-yard tackle for loss. Okay, that -3 turned to a -1 because Nolan Smith is because Trotter Jr. can become disruptive in the backfield. It's going to mess up the timing of that play for the offense. So it's going to give the Eagles time for another player on that defensive line or from the defense in general, whether it's the secondary or whatever, to make a play on the ball at that moment. And I thought, that was really good. I thought that was fantastic. Had a lot of fun watching him do that. But obviously the whiff tackles, yeah, it's a problem. I mean, James Bradberry missed that tackle on the same guy. Oh, well, Trotter's next. He runs up to the same guy, whiffs that tackle, and then Nakobe Dean had to tackle him, which leaves us coming to Zack Baun, okay, which Zack Baun, I thought, had a couple tackles. I mean, he's another guy that's not getting a lot of snaps. I mean, seriously. Like, Zack Baun had a couple good tackles, but, I mean, is it enough for me with this linebacker core? Is it enough? Is Zack Baun showing me enough? I think Trotter Jr. is showing a lot more because he has had more snaps, and that's unfair to say that, I guess, maybe. But Zack Baun, from the time he was in, he made a couple plays. He got off some blocks. There was like a throw to the flat, and he ran up to the guy and blew him up. It was great. I just want to see more. It's just, to me, it's just not enough. Like just only hearing about stuff is annoying to me. I want to see this with my own two eyes. So Zack Baun apparently had a good day. I guess a solid day from where he was in. This video is sponsored by BetUS, by the way. And here's a word from our sponsors. If I'm the betting man, and I am, and you're rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the redemption year for Jalen Hurts. This is the year we get the bad taste out of our mouths from last season. If I'm going all in, ride or die with a Super Bowl and bringing that Lombardi trophy back to Philadelphia for a second time, you need to go to BetUS, and I'm not wasting any time with it. I'm putting $500 down as the risk and getting $7,000 back at the end of the year because this offense is going to be explosive. This defense by Vic Fangio is going to be dynamic. New customers for BetUS get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. You can't pass up on this for the most important season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Check the link in the description below, and I want to thank BetUS for sponsoring this video. Now, I think the one we've all been waiting for at this point is, it's Nakobe Dean. I thought Dean played really good. I have to say. Did I see him much in coverage? No. But I got to say, he had a couple aggressive tackles up the right sideline, had an aggressive tackle. Obviously, the 2 whiff tackles, and he threw him to the ground. There was another one where, he pursued it perfectly for an angle tackle, grabbed him and threw him down. It was great. It was fantastic. There was another play that I really liked about Nakobe Dean. Okay, Fangio loves blitzing Dean. Okay, I've seen that a lot in these preseason games. Even they've said that at practice a few times. When it comes to Fangio believing in the blitz, I think Dean is the number one guy he likes to blitz at times. Okay, Nakobe Dean got after the quarterback, got pressure on the quarterback, and got right in his face before he threw it. He throws the ball, he dumps off, I think, to the receiver or the running back. Nakobe Dean runs all the way to the sideline from where the quarterback is and makes the tackle. So his hustle, what he's doing, he had a solid day. I thought the 2 Georgia boys had a really solid day today. The only thing with Nakobe Dean is I think they should only use him in a specific format, which is blitzing, whether it's making quarterbacks nervous, put him on the edge, let him just walk around the line, find that weak spot, and just engage. I mean, that's how I think they should really use him. I'm not giving up on Nakobe Dean because I did see a lot of things. The last couple of games, I did see a couple of things, and obviously practice he has been getting better. But the health is there, which is good. But really, it's just his coverage is the only thing I'm really in question of. If the man has to backpedal backwards or run east and west at times, I get a little nervous. And I think we're all kind of thinking the same way at times when it comes to this game, that we did see. And I thought his tackling was way better in this game. and did a lot better than a lot of the players. So I was really happy with the linebacker core and the few players we did talk about here. We had I thought some of the other guys did well. I thought Jake Elliott was good with the kicking that we had, so I thought we were good there. But other than that, I think really that's all I have to talk about when it comes to this team, because the Eagles win 14-13. It was a good win. I don't care if they win or lose preseason games. I'm looking for analysis. The Eagles are just throwing plays out of their ass to just get guys to produce, and that's it. We're not scheming against the Patriots. The Patriots weren't scheming against us. I thought there was a lot of good things to take from this game, like I said. So really, I think there's a lot of, your starters haven't played like in a preseason game at all. So it's a lot on these guys to really go out there and really showcase what they can do. So I was happy at receiver for a couple guys. I obviously have questions regarding this roster and why they're not playing guys a little bit longer at times. And I think we can all sit and say, because they're getting a lot of reps during these joint practices, they feel as if they got their work put in for the week. But the supporting cast for some of these young guys, the veterans out there helping them, I think it's fantastic. I think it's awesome. I thought it was, we didn't have a jaw-dropping play that made us feel like he's the guy. But, I think there was good production. You don't need to have jaw-dropping stuff. The little things really build up to those big moments later on, especially in the regular season. So the Eagles probably won't practice today, most likely. There's and then we'll go through our last week of preseason. We're down to 20-something days for the regular season. And if you guys enjoyed this review of the Philadelphia Eagles, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you like the video, because it helps the channel out tremendously. I try to go in depth as much as possible. I'm not the biggest X's and O's type guy. I'm not the biggest guy on, just certain things that are professional, but I definitely get straight to the point on things. And I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. What was your favorite play? Who was your favorite player? And who is the big sleeper? And I'm going to tell you, the big sleeper for me is Davis Price. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Make sure you check the link in the description below and sign up for BetUS to get 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Link in the description below. I want to thank BetUS for sponsoring this video. And that's it, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy it, because we have one more week, and then the nightmare is over. And then we have to start cutting people. And it's going to be a very stressful time. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Shake some up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.